All right, I think we are good. I think. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Redcast Podcast. I'm your host, Arsenal, today. Joined with myself. Uh, no one's here yet. It was kind of a. It's been a minute. Um, shoot, 1 second while I make sure this is setting up. I'm currently not on my computer. I'm currently using Karina's. Making sure got all my stuff set up. But how's everybody? It's been Oh, that was a nice
Oh,
snap. Hello.
oh shit, it's you.
It is me. Who this be?
This be what?
Okay, 1 second. Speak again, boy.
Hey, you like my new mic?
I don't know if it's Karina's headset or it's your mic, but it does not sound great.
Real shit, it's a brand new mic.
It might be Karina's headphones, so I'm not 100% sure. For whatever reason, I cannot put the sound that's coming out that you're speaking, and nobody else can hear you. 1 second while I set this up. Yeah, I'm currently not on my computer. I'm currently on Karina's computer.
Alrighty.
So yeah.
So I
Why?
wasn't expecting Green to have a sex change all of a sudden.
Yeah, yeah, no, the whole thing about it was right now mom told me. So they're using the big TV to watch Game of Thrones. And the big
Gotcha,
TV,
gotcha.
yeah, the big TV is online. So right now, like, I just set up all the stuff over here on this computer. Like, like, I don't know who's gonna be on, so I only have myself in a blank room. So, oh god, there you are, Wise. So, yeah. What's up, Pat? It's been a minute.
Oh shit, we're live?
We've been live. I had already been live.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Say hi to the audience.
Hello. Hopefully my headset is better.
You know what? I don't know if it's this headphones or what, but I hope it sounds good on my on the stream because can't tell. Excuse me. Also, how do I sound on this mic?
You sound good to me.
All right, cool. We've never used it to like stream or anything, like just basic calls. But since Karina has such a very low voice, like we don't know how good the mic is. You get me? Like we have to like
Yeah, I
completely
gotcha.
max setting everything, and even then she doesn't go through. But okay, you can hear him. Yeah, now you can hear him. I couldn't. It wasn't working for a while, at least on my end. But yeah, it has been. When was the last podcast?
Fuck, it was like a month ago, I think, right?
It's at least a month ago. I know. We took off Thanksgiving. We came back after Thanksgiving, and then I think we were off. I think right before Christmas, maybe.
Yeah, because it was just before Christmas.
Yeah, it was right. I think it was right
Because
before Christmas, and then there was gonna be a podcast the week of New Year's, but I had to. So what ended up happening is I had to pick up some extra shifts because when I was on leave for Damien, I was only getting paid 60% of my checks. Luckily I
gotcha.
had some savings to get me out of it. November 30th was the last podcast, so we missed all of December.
Yeah.
Which I thought we were gonna take a break for the Christmas week. I know we are gonna take Christmas. I did not expect us to take New Year's. Um, but yeah, once I came back, I ended up having to pick up some extra shifts to like make ends meet. So yeah, now that everything's kind of on board, we're good now. We should be trying. That is going to be something I wanted to talk about the podcast and what's been going on. Um, so 'cause
Alrighty.
a lot of things happen. A lot of things have, and a lot of things haven't been happening behind the scenes. So you know how that is.
Yeah.
But we'll get we'll
A
we'll
lot
get
of stuff happened in a month.
a lot of stuff happened in a month. So I kind of want to cover the stuff that happened in the month, and then we'll go back and like talk about probably like the last 30 minutes or so. We'll talk about the channel, what's gonna happen, and for the new year. But how you been, Wise?
Alrighty.
How was your New Year's?
It was pretty good. Um, fuck, what did we do for New Year's? I guess aside from having a bonfire for New Year's and nothing much, just deal with a bunch of neighbors setting off fireworks.
Interesting. Hey, Pat, since you can hear, do you hear Wise twice? Any chance?
I used to hear myself twice, but I think that was through you. I can
Correct.
edit my stuff, or not edit, but fix my stuff in case I am.
Well, see, the whole thing about it is, again, this mic hasn't been fully tested. Like I bought it for her maybe like a week or so, 2 weeks ago, and like we have not
Gotcha.
tested it other than her plugging it in and doing, "Hi, Manny Prime, how are you?
Hello.
How you been?
Hi.
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas.
Hey.
Uh,
You too.
Happy Kwanzaa. Is it Kwanzaa? I don't know what it is, but I know it's around this time too. But let's put y'all behind him.
I'm also trying to work out this new headset as well, so
Yeah, so like the whole thing about it is like for Christmas. Uh-oh. 1 second, gentlemen. My son is.
So how was your holidays, Manny?
Fine.
Anything special?
Not really. Is it still snowing?
It did a while back, then it stopped now. It's just everything is just kind of warm now. All the snow is melting and compacting. It's fucking ice. I wish I could see the chat so I can talk to Pat. I guess I'll pull up YouTube on my phone.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. So that was my son. I don't know if you guys heard him. Hello.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Manny, how was your New Year's? How was Christmas? How was all that?
Last fine.
It's good. For you guys, any New Year's resolutions?
Well, I've been working out since October, so not much.
That's good, man. I wish I could go work out again. You know what it is, man? It's like I can't do it alone. Like I need someone to like that extra push to do things.
Right. Yeah, that's why I go to my sister to work out.
Yeah, see, like I need someone else. Like for a while, we were working out at Ken's house, and but then we were working out for a couple hours and then boxing each other, and then we all started like lacking. Oh, we'll go next week. Oh, we'll go the week after that, and then most of us stopped going, and then we all just stopped. So like I haven't worked out, I haven't done any of that stuff. So I definitely that's good,
Gotcha.
though. I didn't plan to have any New Year's resolutions. I always think about it like this. I was like, I just want to do a little bit better than what I did last year. You get me?
Yeah.
Like I didn't do horrible last year. Like yeah, we had some ups and downs. You know, shit. Life gives you lemons. You make fucking lemonade and all that shit. But
Oh, that fucking quote.
no, my favorite one is. Have you seen it going around on TikTok and Instagram and all them?
Yeah, the Emperor of Mankind.
The Emperor of Mankind is playing. He's like, I just found out that life didn't give us lemons. It's a mix of a citron and a bitter orange. And
life never gave us lemons. We made it.
It's so fucking hilarious, dude. Like, manifest destiny.
I remember that line from like years ago. What's the fucking app? It's not Tumblr, but some other weird shit.
That doesn't narrow it
Oh,
down.
fuck.
Pinterest?
No, not Pinterest. It's kind of it's a social media app where you can post stuff.
That doesn't narrow it down.
Fuck.
DeviantArt?
I don't know. Oh, shit.
Vimo?
Oh yeah, you're right.
No, not that one. Fuck. It's the other
Threads?
weird one. Fuck.
Oh, Pat.
Oh,
Pat threw out Threads.
social media apps.
He's gonna get a list of hundreds of them. Yeah, that's the only one. That's the one I'm really not on is Threads. Like I have an account and I made an account, but like because I have an account, that's the only reason.
Yeah, I barely do shit on social media anyway. I just look at shit posts
do
and
a
people
lot more.
dying on Instagram. Where are you, you little asshole? Did you get deleted or what? Was it Tumblr? It might have been Tumblr.
Tumblr would, yeah. I think that's the only other ones I would think of. Did it get deleted?
I don't think so because I don't see it on here, but I know they had like a policy change like years and years ago, back when they had to like you can't post porn on here, and like
Oh yeah, yeah. that was the
80% of the people are like fuck this.
Yeah, it was Tumblr. Once Tumblr did that, it like collapsed overnight.
Fuck, I'll look up. What's Illuminati's X, the funny one, not the milk one, the Oz Media.
I've never heard of that one.
Oh, Oz Media. Maybe if I look up his videos and he'll talk about it. Go Oz Media. Fuck Illuminati. Not the fun way. Go to hell. I'm actually upset with myself that I looked up one of her videos as a source like years and years ago, like back when we were playing one of the Star games. I'm upset with myself.
Yeah, Pat says, yeah, I have no third accounts. I want to see wise. But like, the main ones I use is Instagram and the other one. I have Facebook, but I still disconnected to all my all of the ones that I use are like the Facebook group ones, like Facebook and Instagram, and then like I rarely use TikTok. I rarely use any of that. Like YouTube is like the ones where I use the most for stuff. But recently, I know you've seen it because you just added me on it. But I made a new Instagram account just for the new channel that I'm working on.
Oh shit!
That's for both. The channel's called Bows and Bolt. Fuck, I can say it. It's Bow and Bolters.
Bow and Bolters.
Yeah. It's the YouTube channel that myself and Mayan are working on for Pathfinder and Warhammer 40K, but like in all aspects, from like character builds to modeling to that kind of discussion. But we it was a soft launch in January. Like this January, we're trying to get the fields and the rains and stuff. But yeah, so like my New Year's resolution, I started it the second, not the first. I was like, cool. Like I should do something. Like I'm gonna post a reel every day for 365 days, or as long as I possibly can. So I've posted a reel on that Instagram account every day for the last 10 days, just nonstop. And I do plan to upload those with a little bit longer ones on YouTube eventually, but we'll get there. I've been having some problems with my own computer, so it's like it's rough when your computer's at like 10 years old now. So
Gotcha.
yeah, it's my computer's showing its age, so.
Well, I guess I do have one, and that's kind of more to work more on this on my behalf instead of just leaving all the work to you. And hopefully, very, very soon, I hopefully will know a guy to hook me up with parts to get stuff ready. But in order to do that, I need to set up an office. So it's going to be like a week or two.
Yeah, like so the biggest thing about it is like we're already talking about. We might as well just I was gonna wait to the end of the yeah yeah Pat, thank you. So the thing about it about this particularly this channel so for originally for a while I was thinking about just shutting it down and then restarting it. One of our other like starting YouTube buddies, his name's Tech Turtle. That's typically what he does every like 6 to 8 months. He will like if the channel is lost its steam and is like not he's just not consistent. What they do is they'll shut the channel down and then bring it back up, like restart the whole thing and start the whole process up again to try to get the more subscribers and stuff and the more views and all that kind of
Gotcha.
stuff. But when I went to go do all that stuff, I found out that like deleting the account would like legitimately ruin me. Like
Yeah, because it's connected to a bunch of your other private stuff as well.
yeah, and it's one of the things where like we didn't think about it when this channel because originally this channel was mine. It was 100% mine. For all intents and purposes, it is mine. But like it was like
Yeah.
my personal account. This is where all of my single player stuff was gonna be. And then we never thought it was gonna be the group channel. So like I used to have some bank stuff. I got rid of it because of what happened here. But like my school stuff is still through here. My main account, my premiums through here. Like all of it's like connected to this YouTube. Um.
Mm.
So yeah. So we're like, well, shit, I can't really delete it. So the idea for this channel is probably gonna be like the older content is probably gonna get unlisted. So all the old stuff from like 2014 and like 2019 will probably go away when we started the podcast, and it would be mainly
Right.
the podcast, and anything brand new will be displayed. You get me?
Gotcha.
So that's gonna
Yeah.
be the kind of ideas. I had some ideas on both the channels because I know you're a big Warhammer fan. Manny Prime, I don't know if you're interested in any of that stuff. Okay. But like, because I know you and Mr. Plastic have conversations all the time on the Discord where we're talking about like
Necron stuff.
the Necron stuff, and I post all my stuff. Like, I can't wait. So on the 3rd of February, we have our first group tournament. So I think it's like 10 of us that are gonna fight for like our tournament group thing, and I know 100% is gonna be covered on the other channel. And like on this channel,
Ooh.
it's gonna be like what I plan to do starting hopefully is to um kind of mainly focus on two things for this channel particularly. It's probably gonna be the podcast on normal days, like on our normal Tuesday Thursdays. If not every week, every other week. I think that gives us flexibility to do things. But the week that we're not doing things, anyone can use that Thursday slot, like the whole that day, to really like post something. Like the idea is that I have something always coming out on a Thursday. You get me?
Right. Something will busy on Thursday no matter what.
Yeah, like if it's a yeah, that's the
Hopefully,
goal.
hopefully.
That is the goal. So if it's not the podcast, it'll be a short or a couple of shorts, or it'll minimum will be a post. You get me? Like that's the where we want to start. Like we want to start somewhere small, and then once we kind of get used to that, then all right, cool. Let's go up a little bit. Let's go up a little bit. And I noticed that because I wanted like I know it's not the same, but like for Instagram, I did the 10-day thing. Started with one subscriber, and it wasn't even myself. And for 10 days, I'm already at 35. And but I've reached
Oh,
almost
nice.
I've already reached 1,000 different accounts,
Nice.
which is the same numbers that my single YouTube channel got in the same time span, in a year span. So it's like ideally, it's like it's part of it being consistent, but also being like kind of like yeah, making sure the content is there. You get me? So
Yeah.
that's the hope. Um, Yeah, I wanted to do probably something like either like one week we like play games. It doesn't have to be like all the group. Maybe it could be like some of us that are playing Overwatch, or some of us that are playing on Xbox, or some of us doing it, whatever. And that's the
Yeah,
idea.
just a social sesh.
Yeah, social status where people can come in. And the idea basically would be like a almost like a more casual podcast kind of deal, because like this podcast, normally is a shit show. Um,
Oh yeah.
so ideally, what it's gonna be is I'm thinking having like a kind of almost like two different types of podcasts. Like one podcast, like two podcasts a month are gonna be like we're gonna do like segments. We're like, hey, this is the news. This is our witty banter. Like we're talking, getting to reacquaint ourselves. We have a while of us just talking about stuff of like the news and stuff, and
Gotcha.
then like the last like 15 to 20 minutes we'll answer like questions, or like we'll have a topic to talk about like that's completely unrelated to something that's happened in the year. Um,
Right. A proper bit rather than just throw the dice and hope for a 6.
yeah, the idea is like to have three main bits. Yeah, Pat, an organized podcast. That's the hope. Um, and a lot of the things happen because since I'm the only editor for the group right now, um, it's kind of rough for me because I also have the two kids and I'm working full time.
Understood. And like I said, hopefully, because like it's a local guy here and it's one dude by himself.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I can get stuff together for decently cheap.
Well,
But if I do, like I said, I have to make an office, so it's going to take a week or two.
yeah, so like the other things about it
And
is go ahead.
oh, sorry, what?
Yeah.
I got small stuff. You go ahead.
So my thing about it is yeah, thank you, Pat. It's one of those things where it's like I've been wanting to do a podcast for a while, and then like for a while I got really depressed about the podcast, and the dread and stuff like that. And I'm like, and like my brain was like completely like negative against it, and I was like, no, we do the podcast because it's fun, not because we're trying to make money. It'd be nice if it made money, but the podcast is more of a thing that we just it's almost like a mandatory like friend session for people.
Yeah,
So like it's more like, hey, let's all hang out, let's all talk, let's kind of catch up and stuff.
yeah.
And that's what
It's time to shoot with the boys. It's not. It's
ideally,
not a job
yeah,
in parentheses yet.
yeah. And the idea basically is like the two podcasts a week would be like not two podcasts a week, the two every month, like two a month would be very serious, very organized. Hey, these are the guys that are going to be on it, or hopefully, and then we're going to talk for about 10 and 15 minutes talking to each other. Another like 45 minutes talking about the news and stuff like that. And then we're like, cool.
Right.
But like when we're trying to wind down, all right, cool, guys. We have a couple questions for you guys, and answer these questions and kind of see where we're at there. Um, the goal is not to go over 2 hours on the podcast parts, but like the other part is the casual streams. The other 2 weeks will probably be like us just kind of doing a long form content, so it can be anywhere from like 2 to 8 hour streams of us doing multiple different things or multiple people streaming. So
Right.
I've been working on seeing about that, seeing if we can get multi streams going, where it can be like if I'm streaming the game, Karina could stream the game, you could stream the game, and if you could watch it on three different screens, basically, if you wanted to watch someone's perspective, you can do that. I'm still trying to figure all the kinks out on that,
Right. That or
but
maybe open a separate Discord link where the YouTube channel like links to that. Like, oh, here's all of us
so
streaming
originally
on
that was
either
the
one.
idea. I was gonna do that with the Reckless. So I originally wanted to step away from this podcast, this Discord that we're currently in right now. Particularly because it's just our friends one now, and switch over more to the
Yeah.
Reckless one and start using that one a little bit more, being a little bit more active with that one. That way,
Right. Which
people
I
can
still need to work on because I'm not great on that.
same. So it's like all that stuff, and that's just for this channel. Like I have other projects that I'm working on behind the scenes, like also for the other stuff and all of my work. Like this year, we plan, like the Warhammer buddies are planning probably not this tournament, but our next tournament, we will probably be doing a live stream for the whole entire day of at least one table that'll be fully played, and we're gonna trying to do um those battle reports where you see us play the game actually from start to finish, whether it be on Tabletop Simulator or on in person. A lot of us who have Tabletop Simulator have figured it out. We're kind of used to playing on it. And then for the online one, like the in-person one, I'm kind of working on it because I got a lot of tips from our local brickhead Bricky, um, because he runs a channel called Dice Check, and how they have it set
Yeah.
up for their cameras instead of using a super like $20,000-$30,000 camera for like actual film production. They use a very high quality security system cameras. And I was looking into them, and they're within my price range, and I have already brought it up to the group, the larger group of the Warhammer guys, that they want to then pitch in. So once that gets done, like this year, we have so many purchases as the group starts, so it's like just one more, in the pot.
Yeah.
So definitely there is, like, we're not going away anywhere. You get me? Like the channel's not gonna die.
Right. Oh God, that
Not
makes me
officially.
want to go into topics
And
already.
yeah,
we're not retiring. God damn it,
no,
we're
we're
not
not
like
there.
half of YouTube
So
are
that leads me,
retiring
yeah,
like right now.
that's something I wanted to talk about, and man, am I really sad about it.
So am I.
If you want to segment that way, who are you the most saddest about? Because I have a couple.
I don't really know. Like, of course, like Matt Pat's a kick in the nuts, but kind
Yeah,
of like what I think Broflamer Plastic. I forget which one, but
Yeah.
they said how they will miss him and they're glad he's moving on, but they don't really watch him a whole lot anymore.
Yeah, the thing about it is, it's like I've been watching Matt Pat since he started.
Oh, same.
Like
Back when it was like the old retro red and Super
like,
Mario
I was a fan
math
of
shit.
his before he had the FNAF stuff. Like I was around
Yeah.
for like Mario was the villain one. Like that's how back in the day it was. We used to go to Ken's house on Fridays, so we'd go over and play like Star Wars Battlefront 2, like the original one from 05 on his Xbox. And then play Minecraft and watch stuff there. And that's where we'd all watch it together. And that's where we got into Vanoss, which, damn, that's a whole nother can of worms.
With Moo.
With that whole team has disintegrated.
Well, they have, I wouldn't say disintegrated, they're how diversifying. It's hard to say because some of them are splitting off, but they're still just as strong.
Yeah, no. So what I think about it is the heavy hitters succeeded. The people that were going to succeeded.
Right,
and most of them did.
Red Knitting Lad can fuck off the wrong end of a bridge. I don't give a shit about either two of them.
So the funny thing
They're
about
both
it is,
dickheads.
like yeah, if we're gonna call a spade, everyone is wrong. But like Mini Lad is back on the platform. Omrecker is still doing his thing. And more power to them. As long as they don't fuck around, they're gonna find out. But like Vanoss,
be assholes or fuck kids.
Vanoss is doing his thing, and he's still going strong with like the thing about it is, for him particularly, is what I feared for this channel happening if we were to get any little bit bigger, is that because it's such a group dynamic, and that's kind of why I didn't want it to just be the Reckless Podcast channel, because it's that implies
you don't want to stagnate.
Well, that too, but it's also the fact of like, what if people no longer want to do this or want to branch out and do different things, and then like you're left with one or two people, like how we are right now. Like there's three of us. You get me? The original members of this podcast don't show up anymore. You get me? And like, mind you, Ranger has his reasons, Broflame has his personal reasons right now. Like, and we do occasionally get them. It's not always bad. It's not always that. But it's one of those things where it's like, it sucks, but I don't want it to be the only reason that like the podcast will still be the podcast with or without members of the group. If it was like tonight, I didn't expect you, since nobody responded to you guys other than me, and I responded way late. I didn't even see it. I saw that, I'm like, shit, I should have said something. I was like running around with the kids today.
Oh, you're all good, man. Because if I didn't check my phone from the Discord bot, I probably wouldn't have checked my phone.
So like the idea
And
was
plus,
like,
I'm glad to be here anyway.
yeah, no, and the other thing about it
I
would be
miss
like,
this.
I do too. The other thing about it would be like, I would have done the podcast on my own. Like I still would have hosted it. I still would have talked like about at least what I feel about things, whether they be right or wrong. And just kind of went
Right,
with
as
the
long
flow
as
like that.
Pat's here.
Even if we love that Pat's here, but if Pat was in here or if I was just talking into the abyss, I would still talk into the abyss. But yeah, so it's like one of those things where it's like like when I see Vanos' channel, it's like he's like now doing singles content where I think it's a little bit, or he's doing stuff with one person or two other people at most.
Yeah, usually Louis.
Now it's Louis, and I remember back in the day where like it was always them. Like on his channel, it was always like 5 or 6 of them. It was always the big group because it was funnier that way. But now that these
Right.
guys have basically made their own smaller groups in the group, like when I think of Delirious, I don't think of Vanos anymore. I think of him in cartoons and Elephant and Dead Squirrel, and I think that way. And then when I think of like not Mini Lad, Wildcat, I don't think of Vanos anymore. I think Big Jiggly Panda, and I think that side. But so it's like it's weird. You get me? Like yeah,
Yeah,
they're all
even the other half, like Smitty and Grizzy and all them
Smitty,
too.
Grizzly. Yeah, it's like they're kind of floating in the air. We're like
Right.
they're still friends. They
Or
still make content, but it's like now when I see it, it's like I see them like separate, and then they also collaborate together. You get me?
yeah, they're each independent things, but they still go like connect to one each other once in a while
Correct. Yeah. Um.
because they're still friends and they still make funny ass content though.
Correct. No, their content. That's the one thing about it is that once you're like the content is consistent, like the quality, that's where you struck gold. You get me? Like in this, like for this particularly this podcast, like sometimes we have some absolute fucking dog shit ones, but it's because like we do everything raw, and that's like for this podcast, that's the best way we can describe what we talk about. It's raw.
Yeah, we're inexperienced random schmucks,
that
and we just roll the dice and hopefully land on good numbers.
basically because it's like whatever we're feeling in the moment, we don't. At least to my how we like because we always like haha this is a joke, this podcast is for fun, regardless of what's like actually said. No, we don't, most of the time we don't actually mean the stuff we're saying. Most of it's just for the show. You get me?
Yeah,
And
like the biggest or the biggest nat 20 we've ever rolled is getting Pat.
correct.
And it was talk about someone, I forget who, I'm pretty sure is Broflame, talk about Vor, and he just stuck.
Yeah.
And I am forever grateful for Pat sticking this long. Forever grateful. And
Correct.
I love you, Pat. Like, man to man.
I was about to say that do you have your socks on? Because if not, that's pretty.
I
Not
do. I have very
not
comfy
positive
wool
you.
socks from Christmas.
That's pretty not progress of you. But the whole thing about it is like the podcast is gonna be the podcast, the channel is gonna be the channel. For the other things, like my other channel is just gonna be mainly me. Like that's gonna be my focus on like where the identity of that channel is me, while this identity of this channel is us. You know what I mean?
Right. And I was thinking once we're done with season 2, I was thinking maybe open the Reckless Podcast channel again, but as an entirely separate thing, and just do season 3 straight from there.
That might be the best way to do it. Like honestly, that might be something we want to look into.
Instead of burning down this one
one?
to start anew, just put ice on it and then start somewhere else.
That might be the best way to do it too. Is like we completely make a whole new email address, make a whole new
Rebrand completely.
Rebrand. I would hope not to lose the reckless part, but if we got like do a complete whole rebrand and just start over. That's what I was thinking of doing originally with this channel, was to burn it and then start a whole new setup.
I go full forest fire, just burn shit so shit can grow anew.
Basically, and that's kind of where the idea was for all of that.
Ow!
it might happen, it might not. We might go with the whole, just muscle through it, because that could be a thing too. We can it there's since we such a large, like, vast. You drop your shoes, leaving already? It's on the table. So it's like everything's so up in the air. You get me?
Right.
So that's the big thing about the channel. Um, Beyond that, it should be business as usual. It'll be me mainly hosting until you get your stuff up, or if anyone else wants to take the reins, they're more than happy to.
Right. And if you do need me to help, like cover stuff, like posts or just anything you need help with in general, that's channel, YouTube wise, or whatever, just let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Because
Yeah.
I have a few video editings on here. I have a problem with one of them. I don't know why. It won't like upload to YouTube. YouTube's like, no, we can't upload it, even though it's a video.
It might be the files type.
Maybe.
Because that's the other thing too. Depending on which one you use, some file types just YouTube doesn't like. So I've learned that too, because I was using another what's it called type of. Cause now I use Adobe and I pay the pipe. But
Yeah, software's finicky as shit.
yeah. Unrelated. So today, Fabo and I went to Walmart. Tell me why Fabo and I walked out each with with one of those boxes of heart chocolates. And no, I'm not giving it to my wife, and Fabo is not going around dating somebody. We got it and we're eating them. I'm just chilling here eating my fucking chocolates.
Because it's chocolate and fucking what? Valentine's in like a month?
Mm-hmm. It's like,
Or
wait,
wait, is it
toffee
January or
right
February holiday? I
February
keep
14th.
forgetting.
February 14th. It is
February 14th, alright. That's not like I celebrate it anyway.
And it's a Wednesday. God, it's so
Ooh.
delicious. I got the what is this one? The Hershey Pot of Gold. So they had 3 different ones. And which one did I get? Fat Boy got like a Dove one. And I got one that's
Soap?
no, not the
I know.
the mocha truffle, vanilla caramel, and truffle. And I just love dark chocolate.
Oh, that would be funnier than hell. Dove Soap makes their own box, looks exactly like the chocolate one, and just fucks people over.
Yeah.
Like, oh, did I get the white chocolate? Oh my god, that's fucking vanilla soap.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about it. Pat says, "Dang, I miss Fat Boy too. You, Karina, and Angie. It's been a minute. Because with the kids, it's been hard for like I say that, but the last 2 weeks, a week and a half, Karina and I been playing Baldur's Gate 3, and
That's co-op now?
It's been co-op.
Oh shit.
So Thursday.
I think I googled it. It wasn't cross-platform though.
It's not cross-plat. We tried. We have a lot of buddies who play it on Xbox, and we're like, bitches, when you guys get it on PC. But so the thing about it was we were playing, and we got it on Thursday. It is the third. It's been 1 week, and I have. Right. It has been 1 week, and I think I have 87 hours in the game.
Ah, damn.
God damn, indeed. You know what? I can give an exact number. I can open up her Steam to see how. Well, yeah.
To be honest,
I know live. I don't have 80 hours. I have 60 hours today.
Oh, okay.
As of today.
I was expecting to say you have like 90 or 100.
No, we have 60 hours. Our friend has the 90 hours. I apologize. So, yeah, it's been a lot of hours. I've put more hours into the game than I've actually worked this week.
Shit.
Yeah. I have definitely paid the price for that.
I haven't bought it yet. I'm still debating because it's a full price game.
I don't know if it's on the Game Pass. But my biggest thing about it definitely deserved Game of the Year, hands down. I know that happened when we were off the air for a bit. Definitely deserved it. Um, it is a very very good game.
Right. Even as a person who has never played it, it deserves that title because I know the only people who are bitching about it are the like Spider-Man soy boys.
My thing about it is like Spider-Man was a good game, and there's nothing to take away from that game. Baldur's Gate 3 is just a better game. That's it.
More innovative.
I'm sorry.
I was saying it's more innovative.
100%. Like I remember playing Baldur's Gate 2 back in like 07.
Mm.
Like, and to see 3, if it's beautiful. It is one of the, like, I've never played one of these RPGs like this, like a top down kind of like this kind of setup. Um, like I've never played XCOM. I've never done any of that kind of stuff. Um, so you see us playing Baldur's Gate. Yeah, it's trust me. After this podcast, we will be playing Baldur's Gate. He's already told me. She's like, when my mom's we were playing, it's like, oh, I got the podcast. Like, and did I fucking start? So but the game, the game is so like detailed and thought out. Like, if you can think of it, you can do it. Get me?
Right. And
And
the best part, it's not a fucking cash grab.
that is true. And what I think about it, the biggest thing about it is, like, there's already been rumors that are the DLCs coming out and stuff like that. It's like the developers have never done that. They've never mentioned that kind of stuff. And I'm like, that just the buzz about it. So I have an issue about it though, not about the game, about the company. And it's gonna lead me into something I wanted to talk about that happened this year as well, around the same time. So,
All right.
um, so although Baldur's Gate and 5e have done phenomenal monies, and Magic the Gathering has made a crap ton of money, like, and I mean,
Mm-hmm.
as above board, 20%, 25% above board. They released 1/3 of their staff this year, right the week of Christmas.
Yeah, it's fucking Hasbro and their golden parachute, and of course other companies as well. But Hasbro comes to mind because I
It's
think like
Hasbro.
they're
They own
like
Hasbro.
the top dog to it.
Well, they own Hasbro. So Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast. So that affects the D&D, and it affects Magic the Gathering. Two of the bigger things that I talk about and do. Um, so it's like I really hate the fact that, like, I really like this game. Like, I like the game because it's a great game. And I forget the name of the company that made the game. Um, I think it's Lacing, something like that. Made a wonderful game, and I have nothing against 5e or Magic the Gathering at all. But god damn it, do I hate that fucking company. I hate Hasbro.
Yeah, fucking yeah. Hasbro and Wizard of the Coast they're not great people. They're
Well,
corporations.
see, that's the worst part, because the people that work at Wizards of the Coast, like the people there, are not the issue, because the people at well, the new people after they got acquired by Hasbro and those changes, those are the people that are causing these issues, because all they care about is the bottom dollar. And even though they're making 25-30% over their profit limit, it's still not enough.
Right. Yeah, it's the CEOs and their golden parachutes.
Basically, it's like other vendors are failing. We need you guys to pick up the slack, and it's like that's insane. And like
Yeah,
it's
they're they're cutting the barest minimum to earn the maximum dollar rather than giving a single shit.
correct, and it's one of those things about, like, particularly Wizards of the Coast has earned a lot of favor in the communities that they're in, particularly Magic and D&D, because they were a company that would listen. Sometimes they were idiots, but they would listen. And that's the thing that there's a guy on YouTube named Pirate Software. He's a developer that used to work at Blizzards, and it's the same thing. And he goes on about it. It's like the games that do really well are typically games that people play. They can voice their opinion to a dev. Like for example, like if you have it's like, hey guys, this week we're letting out this kind of stuff, and like you know how when you report something in a game, they're like, oh, they're never gonna fix this. You put in a report or whatever. It's like one of those things where like getting the positive feedback from that. It's like, hey, we read what you guys are saying, we understand where you guys are coming from, and we'll see if we can fix it. Even to that minimum, for years, Wizards of the Coast have done that. Once they got acquired by Hasbro, that went absolutely to shit. And every year since the pandemic has been nothing but negative.
Right. Like
Like,
ever since the pandemic, they're like, let's just do the bare minimum and get the least people possible.
well, and that's the problem. 'Cause, like,
We did it during the pandemic, so we can do it now. Like, it's a
problem with the thing is,
fucking
like, those
excuse to be an
companies-
asshole.
yeah, like those companies, like it was one of those things where like those companies were like, when you think of companies like that, you're shit like I can trust this company, which there's a lot of shit like that you're not supposed to like. Man, I can trust this company. Like Woods of the Coast particularly was like that. And they like particularly on like the Magic side, yeah, they made some blunders. They're human. That's how it is. And sometimes you can kind of wave it. It's like, okay, you guys know you guys fucked up. If you guys we know you guys are gonna fuck up in the future. It is what it is. You get me? But when you get me?
Yeah.
Like so like that started, and I can tell you exactly when shit started hitting the fan. We talked about it on this podcast, I think last year, like mid last year, and it was a big problem for the larger scope of what D&D is, was the open games license, which is basically that anyone anywhere could use this system and make their content. Like if we wanted to play 5e on stream, you get me? We didn't
Yeah.
have to credit D&D. We didn't have to say what we were playing. We could just use it, or we could like the rules were open for everyone to basically like if we wanted to make a video game out of 5e, we legally could have because of the open game license. So back in like mid-pandemic, they were shutting down the open game license after 5th edition, which
Right,
means,
because I remember, what's their names?
so
Oh,
Paizo,
shit.
the Pathfinder one, was like completely fighting it, and they're the biggest competitor. If Dungeons and Dragons is number one, Pathfinder is number two, and the margin is big. You get me?
Yeah.
So like,
Oh, fuck.
it ended up happening with like all the other smaller indie guys like Frog Gaming and. Why are you doing this? You fucking woman.
I'm drawing a blank on who they are now.
It's
Shit.
Frog Gaming, Four Color Fantasies, it's Pathfinder, it's the other ones, there's a big one that came out. Cobalt Press. They all basically got together and were like, cool. If they don't want to work with us, they don't want to do the open license, cool. They made their own. You get me?
Yeah.
And then they made their own, legally did all the findings, and none of the companies own it. You get me? No one owns the game license.
Right.
It's owned by a third party from that they appointed, and that's where it stands. You get me?
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things where like, why would you? It wasn't hurting anybody. Or the open game license. It was. Their defense
Right,
for it
because-
was, oh, we want to make more content for our game, but all these other people are making content for our game, so we're not gonna let them make content anymore. It's like when people make mods for like Minecraft or mods for like The Sims. It doesn't discredit what your game does or the stuff you release. What it does is it makes it so that people who play your game want to play your game more. You get me?
Right. It gives a further outstretch. It widens the.
The one.
What's
to
the
play
word I'm
more.
looking for? Yeah, it widens the net for further development. It brings in a bigger audience, more people know it more. Like, oh, this is connected to this, and I like this. Oh, this is great.
Yeah, and that's how it was. And then when that happened, once they announced that, they immediately felt the pressure because oh cool, people are still gonna buy our books. We don't have a problem. Their subscription service dropped 60% overnight.
Right. Cause if you're big enough, all press is good press, even bad.
Well, no. They lost subscribers.
I know, but more people talked about them, and
Well, the people that were talking about it were the people who were telling you, hey, if you guys really want change, the only place it's gonna hurt is their wallets. You get me? That's
exactly.
the bottom line. And after a few months during the pandemic, like I think right when the pandemic ended, we talked about that where it's like they are now going back on that, trying to fix the things because legally they were gonna get sued and they were losing tons of money. Like
Right.
hundreds of thousands of dollars every second. So it's like
Yeah, for the first time in a long time, they got hit hard.
yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like the last time they had this blunder was when we were like when myself and Manny Prime had started high school. Like that's 10 years ago,
Shit.
and like they got hit harder this time than they did back then. Like back then it was a bad addition, and like the game was struggling, but everyone was like, okay, this one's not doing great. You know, in a few years they're gonna release a new one, which they did, and fifth edition has been the biggest success they've ever seen. You know what I mean? It got big enough where major properties were using them to to make movies and shows. Like Stranger Things uses a lot of 80s stuff, and a lot of it is Dungeons and Dragons. You get me?
Yeah.
The main villain of Stranger Things is one of Magic the Gathering, um, D&D's biggest and one of their biggest villains, Vecna. You get me? Like, so that's my 2 cents
Yeah.
with that, man. Like, I feel so bad for the people who work there and like, or
Yeah,
used to
because
work
when
there.
you affect a company, you're not really hurting the CEO. You're hurting everybody else. But then again, in order to hurt the CEO, you kind of have to hurt the people below them so they can like, hey, you want more of this? We work for you. You don't help us. We can't
And
do
it
shit, and
sucks
then you
because
lose your golden
I
parachute.
don't know what history like because I'm deep in the history of the companies, both companies, Pathfinder like Paizo and 5e and Dungeons and Dragons. Because back in the day when 3.5 came out, the original guys that were working on the team, there was a large dispute on how they wanted to take the game. You know, moving into fourth edition, which is the edition that I was telling you that was bad.
Right.
So so a bunch of people got left, like got fired and left the company. So some people got fired, some people just left the crew, and then made their own company, which was Paizo. So the original people that started Dungeons and Dragons split off into two companies. And it's like I give it to it as a prime example, going back to what we talked about with the D&D guys, I mean the Vanos crew, is what happened with them. Like it was a group of buddies that all together were making content. You get me? And then after a
Yeah.
while, after a few years, they branched off. They're still making the same content, same kind of content and stuff. But instead of being
Yeah, and they still work together.
and they still work together. It's
But now they're their own each individual brand instead of
correct.
the Vanos crew.
Correct. Now it's like Paizo is making stuff, making adventures that are compatible with fifth edition's system, not just their own. Which, when you think about it on paper, as a company, why would you make products that benefit another company? Why? It's because it's the love of the game. It's the love of what you're doing. You get me? Yeah, you're gonna make money off of it, but you don't get the residuals. You get me? You're promoting another
Yeah,
company's work. You get me? Mind you,
yeah,
we're not getting paid for this. We're not getting sponsorship for this shit. Like just openly saying this. It's like Paizo's not paying us, then nobody's paying us. If we were getting paid, we would not be talking like this. But like,
oh, of course.
it's one of those things
And
where it's like we're too low on the
and
totem pole.
yeah, even if we were burning metaphorical cash that we never owned
Correct.
in case they even thought about hiring us.
Correct. So it's like it just to me, it's like one of those things where like some businesses are built on the backs of abusing people, and some of them are built with love, and it really sucks to see things that are made with love collapse like this. You get me? Like when you think of companies like entertainment companies that like everybody talks so much shit about because they're so negative. You think of Warner Brothers, you think of Disney, you think all those big companies, you think, oh, when you work there, you're nobody. You're a number. You get me?
Yeah.
I can give you like okay, I want to compare this exactly. Number of staff at Disney. So the corporation of Disney has 225,000 employees as of
Shit.
2023. Okay?
That's
That's a
a lot
shitload.
less than I thought there would be. For
Wizards of the Coast number of employees. Wizards of the Coast. So this includes D&D, the guys who make D&D 5th edition, and Magic the Gathering. It's 1,500.
goddamn, all of Disney has like a 10%? No.
No, it's like a 1%. What? Okay, here you go. What percent?
I suck at
What
math, but yeah, those numbers are
of 225,000? It is 0.066 repeating. It's not even 1%.
goddamn.
It's not even a tenth of a percent. Think on
It's
that.
just like 1,000 people difference between like the biggest mega corporation and the second biggest mega
And it's like one of those
corporation.
things where like it's when you think about it, it's like the name brand. Like, did you know that Magic the Gathering um is one of like the biggest supporter of the troops, like the U.S. troops? They send over I don't know the exact numbers, but we have testimony from several army veterans that during Desert Storm, during the most recent war in Iraq, even to this day, they receive Magic of the Gathering cards overseas to play out there for free.
Oh, for free shit.
Yeah, they are gifted to the U.S. Army.
Here are your rations. Oh, starter deck. God damn it.
So it's like, and it's funny because like I thought it was a joke that one of our buddies, Ranger Senior, had told us that were playing Magic the Gathering out there, and the U.S. Army used to give them out there. We have buddies who returned from Afghanistan a couple years ago, and Saudi Arabia as well, where yeah, no, it was a still going on thing.
Shit. It's better than strippers and blow.
I mean, yeah,
And you're not throwing your like throwing shit at poker, even though you could probably still gamble on it.
well, yeah, but it's like, yeah, it's such an interesting. One second, and
Yeah.
yeah, military support program, Magic the Gathering. Yeah, so this is back in 2003. This is the one. This is in March 23. Operation Gratitude sent its first 4 care packages to deployed service members in Iraq. Since its inception, the organization has made millions of Americans to express their gratitude on hands-on volunteers, turning lift spirits more than 3.3 million deployed troops. Yeah, that's like when you it's like one of those like cool things that I didn't know about the company. And like I've been doing a lot of deep dives on these companies for the other channel. You get me?
Yeah.
It's like when you think about it, those companies they're so small and they're doing that stuff. The they're basically my explanation for this whole reason is like these smaller companies this company particularly when it was how it was built and stuff was a community driven company. You get me? Like
Right.
they had a strong community. People felt good to be a part of this community, and a lot of people still do
Yeah.
for this company.
Oh, sorry. What?
Like the company was like it was like in its good graces. Like the community was loving it. Like I compare this to like the FNAF fandom. Have you seen the issues that are going on right now?
Not recently. No.
It's fucking imploding.
I might have seen a few things, but I didn't watch the videos. Probably just came up in my feed.
There's a lot of those videos right now that because like the level of toxicity that's gotten like the the fandom has always had problems, but it's getting worse and worse.
Oh,
And like now it's not even like it's now aimed at Scott. It's aimed at Steel. It's aimed at like it's so bad now. Like it's like the community is so toxic, and it's like when you compare it to other like imagine like how Wizards of the Coast was, it was made of love.
right. From company to corporation.
Correct, and it's just sad.
Right. And I wish independents or like businesses had more sway and more power, but every time they get like an inkling of like glimmer in their eyes, corporations either buy them out or fuck them over. Like, oh,
Mhm.
you either join us or we do what you do with 10 times the cash, 10 times the employees, and we can just shit 30 out before you can blink.
The whole thing about it was like it's like I think like it was a big opportunity for Wizards of the Coast being bought up by Hasbro. Like, cool, we can do so many new things. It opens up the avenues to do more things. Like the other company that I think about that went through the exact same thing and is like completely imploding right now is Rooster Teeth.
Right.
Like I see it now and it's like it's a shell of what it used to be. Like they are no longer doing their yearly events. They're no longer doing. They shut down Achievement Hunter. They shut down Funhouse. They shut down Seven Pine. Like, and they were bought up
Yeah.
by. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Warner.
It's been imploding since I think like mid pandemic.
Yeah,
I
that was kind of the like rocky era for a lot of companies.
well
That's where they
the
either
thing
kind of
about it
like
was well,
ballooned
it
or
wasn't even about the
died.
money. It wasn't even money. It was the backlash on Ryan Haywood and him grooming women, small minors. Since he was and like Ryan was like a founding member of Rooster Teeth. Like I think his badge number
Gotcha.
was like 13.
Right. Oh, fuck yeah. God.
I don't know if
Getting
you.
old sucks.
Yeah, it does. So it's like yeah, and it's crazy how that shit's still going. It's like yeah, it's like last year we're like oh my god, Achievement Hunter shutting down, and I went like do I even like it's sad because like do I care still? And it's like I like seeing Michael and Gavin, Jeff doing all this stuff like that, but like for a long
Yeah,
time it just didn't feel the same.
right. It wasn't really affecting you. It was just kind of punching your inner child.
Yeah, and that's what I see when they're switching tangents now to all of the YouTubers that are retiring, like
Yeah.
Captain Sparkles, seeing Matt Pat,
yeah, Tom Scott, fucking
Yeah.
even like Papa Meat is like taking some time off. He's not fully retiring, but he's just working on other stuff and putting like YouTube on the or his Prime channel on the back burner.
Let me see if there's a list.
And oh, there's probably quite a few. But also, actually, I do have comment I saw under a video. It was like it was I won't say small YouTuber, but it was like 100,000 subscriber YouTuber, and he was like 12 days ago talking about like, oh, here's why all these guys are like are retiring all of a sudden. This is like before Matt Patton moved. This is like
You know it's big.
when everybody else was.
You know. Well, let me see. Let me like type this.
Uh,
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna type. I'm gonna see how retire. So, how big did it get? Oh my god, it is that big. So, you know that someone is big on YouTube and did an impact when the major companies are reporting it.
oh, like what do you mean
Like-
major? Like
Like
not Screen Rant, but like
and
Kotaku or whatever.
IGN, Variety,
IGN.
MSNBC, MSN. Are
It's shit.
talking
They give a shit.
They
Then
give a
again,
shit.
it's free cash.
They gave a shit because Matt Pat's retiring.
Yeah, as soon as Matt Pat even dipped his toe in the water, it's blood in the water for every corporate shark.
And it's like, it's sad that this is the only thing that's getting views, but it's like, this is what it took to get there. And it's like, he was such a. It's sad to see for him particularly because like, shit, that's my whole that's my childhood. But like,
Right, and
what is the end goal as a YouTuber?
I don't know, but actually, not to like out like the what's it, the Victim Olympics, but his final stream's on my birthday, March 9th.
March 9th, yeah.
Which that fucking hit me in the balls really hard. Like, oh my god, my childhood is dying on my birthday.
I mean, that's yeah.
Oh yeah, but with the video was talking about like all the people retiring, and I saw this comment, and I fucking really love it. I don't remember the guy's channel, but I could probably pull up and find it. But the YouTuber's John Golster. It's the decline of old school content creators trying to make ends meet against the lazy content farms, Mr. Beast wannabes, and crappy TikTok influencers.
Yeah, and it's getting to the point where it's like, like even it got brought up on like other podcasts that like I watched, or like Flagrant covered it. That people were retiring, and I was like,
the landscape's a hell of a lot different from a decade ago. A hell of a lot different.
And like particularly for Matt Pat, I don't see on the YouTube side that it was a negative. Like he was leaving for negative reasons. I think more now.
It was kind of negative, but it wasn't terrible reasons. He just wanted to spend more time with family and work on other stuff other than day in, day out.
It's like, what do you do? What do you do when you reach the mountaintop? You get me? You just find another mountaintop. I was like, tell me something he hasn't done on YouTube.
Aside from reach PewDiePie's numbers, not much.
Yeah, but no single creator will get that high again.
Right, and yeah, look at PewDiePie. Look what he's done. He's now enjoying the view from his mountaintop instead of like posting day in, day out religiously. He's like, fuck, I'm gonna post wherever I want, when I want, and people will come by and watch. And now he's a dad, so it's gonna be more vlogs.
And it's one of those interesting things where you're like, it's well, and that's where my question is: what is the long term of a YouTuber, like a single YouTuber? Because like I think about it when I think about it like, a lot of the YouTube channels that I watch now are either group channels that are people that are already already had kids, and are still making YouTube together. And it's not like it's different kind of content. Or it's the new up and coming breed of single player people. You get me?
Yeah.
So like Well, I wouldn't look at the YouTube channel that's connected to this channel particularly right now because my daughter also uses like again main channel on my computer is this. But like, you know what YouTube channel I started watching, and it's like I don't know how it's like the YouTube channels I watch. Like the biggest one is like I watch Play on Tabletop. I watch Ice Check. I watch Adric. That are so niche because they're only one topic. You get me?
Right, they're like one is explicitly Warhammer 40k tabletop, or at least that's their most
Yeah,
popular stuff.
yeah,
I might do other stuff. I don't remember.
Play on
Yeah,
Tabletop.
but Adric.
So Adric is like their lore stuff. Like I'll look at this is a shout out to everybody by the way. Like Mono Blue Tron is MBT for YouTube for Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm gonna shout out this creator because I don't know they have almost I got addicted to this recently. They have 1.42 million subscribers, and I tell you right now, these motherfuckers should be in the hundreds of million subscribers. It's called Jelly's Marble Runs. Let me tell you, I sat down and I watched every goddamn event of 2023. Like a sporting event. Like it was like a gym. Like this dude or chick, I don't know who it is. I don't know enough about the channel just yet to know that this person, one, is either A, autistic, or really, really is a good filmmaker. Because, or both. It could be both. Let's be real here.
Knowing this generation, chances are high it's both.
It says this is the description for the channel. Welcome to Jelly's Marble Runs, as seen on last week's Tonight on HBO and the SB and the Ocho. Which, when you think about it, I was like, I didn't know that they are actually on there.
Oh shit, they are?
Yeah. This channel, all it does is do marble races, like marbles, and like they have full like track setups and that. Like I find this more entertaining than NASCAR.
Gotcha. Oh, but by the way, that laughing is not like derogatory laughing at them. I'm like laughing that like that's
It's
a
amazing.
fucking genius idea, and that
genius.
sounds awesome.
It is wonderful.
It's so simple, so easy, and
you know what?
and it works. It sounds like fun.
Right
I'm
now.
not laughing at them. I am laughing with them.
So starting this week, this is how as of starting this week, this is when we're implementing the whole change of things. Is that next week we will sit there for streaming 2.5 hours of us watching one of these full 3-hour videos. We won't
Jesus Christ.
We won't stream it directly. But we'll like watch it all together on a Discord and like talk about what we're watching.
Right, and if we do put on stream, like put the quality at 144p.
Well, yeah, we'll give them credits and stuff, and like we'll have it like as a watch along. But it's one of those things where you're like, I can't explain it. It is beautiful, and I've seen a lot of creators like that, where the content now is less about large, like just groups of things, like let's plays, like even the like YouTubing like game creator stuff has gotten more niche. You get me? Like yeah, of course some YouTubers only played 1 or 2 games. You get me? Or only known for 1 or 2 games. You get me? When I think of like Delirious, I think of him playing a lot of horror games. You get me? That's how it used to be, anyways. You get me? And like, that's what they do. They still do that, and they do a lot of group content. That's what I think of them. When I think of like, what are the other ones that I watch? Like all of my YouTube channels now are super fixated. Like I watch like WrestleLamia, which is just about wrestling. Like the whole channel. I have a lot of Warhammer ones that I need to address. But it's it's
that's a lot of my feed as well.
It's interesting now to see that channels are, instead of doing multiple topics and talking about multiple things, there's very few channels that do that now, and some of them just hyper focus on one topic.
Right, yeah, some people have found their niche and what works for them.
Correct. And then
Like, why do 10 different niches that might not work when I got this one that I really like and that does pretty well?
yeah, and it's interesting to me now. That's not how YouTube was 10 years ago.
Right, it was just mostly like PewDiePie or Markiplier sitting in a chair playing Amnesia.
Yeah, and
It was
there was a time and point where everyone was playing the same game on streams.
right, because, Markiplier played this, I'm going to play and hopefully I get views. Or
That was the idea.
So-and-so did this.
The big YouTubers are playing Five Nights at Freddy's. We should all play Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, they're playing Hello Neighbor. They're playing X. You get me? And now,
Right.
like, I don't see that anymore. Like, yeah, sure, if a game comes out, like Spider-Man or stuff, like, I didn't see a lot of people covering Spider-Man, except for, like, the people like Delirious and cartoons. And they stopped after wasn't making the money. Which, it's still sad that a lot of those games only get that kind of coverage. Where it's only there, because, again, going back to it, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man, those guys are great games. But those are not games that, like, you sit there and finish in, like, an 8-hour session, you get me?
Yeah, those are time crunches.
Especially if you're a YouTuber and you're, like, going and editing. I played 60 hours of Baldur's Gate. Let me tell you right now, you could use like a third of that of actual like shit that we could use to make a good video. You get me?
Right. Yeah,
Okay,
like, there's like a separate editor to do it. You could just be playing the game constantly and then just have the editor just do shit.
and it's like one of the things where like I feel so sorry for them when like they can enjoy games. They can play games and enjoy them like in the moment. But like if it's not making them money, they immediately switch over to something that will.
Right.
That's what happened with like Lethal Company. Like Lethal Company was the hottest shit for a week, and then nobody was playing it. At least on.
Well, it's still pretty hot now.
Well,
It
hot now
still
because-
has outsold Call of Duty, like the newest Call of Duty game, fucking like threefold, I think.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Like it's like one of those things where it's like that is like those kinds of games are dying breeds now. For games that like everyone's playing because a YouTuber played it. You get me?
Right, and then mods get introduced, and then it gets a fresh
A new
spark.
life. Yep. That's exactly how Minecraft was. Minecraft was great for a while and then it was shutting down. And then once the modding scene came up, that's when some of these YouTubers got big. Like when I think of that,
Yeah,
I
like
think of,
popular MMOs. Oh my god.
exactly. Like when new content's out, that's when everybody wants to be there. That's what happened. Like for like Five Nights at Freddy's, the security breach one. Like FNAF's always gonna get views, always. But like
Oh yeah.
the community got back together. It was like everybody was talking again. Everybody was working again. Like it's weird to say where like the community stopped like doing things for a while and just waiting instead of like working on stuff that's in the background still, like how it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the modding community is huge. Yeah, you're correct. Like a lot of the games that we love playing, I love playing Fallout 4. They're still making mods for Fallout 4.
Yeah.
You know,
I wish people could say the same about Starfield. Oh.
I stopped playing Starfield because I knew it was gonna require a shitload of time. I think I got 30 hours into the game.
I played through I beat the game once, got halfway through the second playthrough on New Game Plus. I'm like, all right, I'm fucking bored out of my mind because micro spoilers for people who either don't know or don't give a shit. New Game Plus is you going to a new or is like a different alternate Earth or whatever or new galaxy, but you just come back as the Starborn. However, the dialogue is if you come through again, like, oh, I did this, so I know exactly how this goes. You will get one dialogue blurb that says Starborn. Like, you play the same exact thing, the same exact way. Dialogue means nothing. It's just a slight jab, like, oh, I know how this goes. Jab, jab. Like, oh, I can't I can't play this an entirely new way. It's the same fucking thing all over again.
Going back to that, Baldur's Gate 3, and I think that's why it was so innovative, is that you can do that. Like, yeah, of course, you can pick a new class and start the game over completely. And it does change the game. But it's like, every one of those dice rolls can either open up dialogue, change dialogue, the people you bring in your party change the game, you know, if you're playing a good run, if you're playing an evil run, if you find the secrets, if you're able to open that chest, and then fucking reload the save 300 times until you fucking roll the 18 that you needed to roll to unlock a goddamn chest. Don't at me. Don't at me. But like, it's like when you think about those kind of things, where it's like, how replayable is a game? I think that factors into a lot. Like, if you play Spider-Man, you're only gonna play it once, like one playthrough. You're gonna play it once and get the story, because that game is a story-driven game. You get me?
Right.
And
Yeah, it's point A to point B to point C. No sub points.
and mind
You may
Baldur's Gate-
encounter it differently by doing X or Y different, but the story plots will always be X or Y.
Well, that's how Baldur's Gate is too. But the difference is like, I think for me particularly, is that your choice always matters. Like, you can play, like, you cannot miss an event, like a story beat in Spider-Man. You get me? You cannot miss spoilers, by the way. You cannot miss Venom coming. You get me? It always happens.
Yeah.
It's story written. Like, you can never fit, but like for Baldur's Gate, things can just happen to your players, and you just lost that line of the story. Cool, you can't do it no more. Like, in one of our playthroughs,
Right.
particularly with Karina's, one of our party members is dead, completely dead. We can't revive her. Her corpse is in our camp. And
Right. Actually, sorry to kind of go off on that. I saw a video. What's the blue bard motherfucker who's like a moron,
Blue Bard.
but thinks he's a genius? He's like, oh, not blue bard. Like, he's a bard or a rogue.
Oh, Volo.
But he's an elf, I think. But his skin is like blue or silver.
I don't know him then, because the only one.
Pale white hair. He's a moron, but thinks he's a genius.
Oh, white hair, blue, but he's.
I think he's like one of like the. Isn't he like one of like the faces on the box?
So the ones that are on there are Asterion, which is the vampire. Spoilers. That's a spoiler. There is Shadowheart, that's Karina's like love interest. There is Will, which is the black guy,
Gotcha.
and then they have.
Oh, the guy in front of the book with the white hair. Him.
Yeah, so that's an elf. He's a regular pale elf. Damn.
Ah. Yeah, the video I saw was him getting caught in an explosion, like dying and getting crushed under rubble, but someone had a revive spell and they bring him back. He's like, how the what the fuck happened? Why did you let me get crushed, you fucking dick?
Yeah, it's stuff like that.
And then you either talk back to him like, oh, you were the one who's fucking crushed under rubble.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. But it's also like, you can permanently kill players. You can permanently kill all of the party, and it's like, you then can no longer do those missions at all. 0. So then later on, when you would need, either could use their help, or they would be particularly designed for a job, you can't do it anymore. And you lose all of those side quests. You lose all of those dialogue options. You lose all of that stuff.
Yeah, once you cut that slice, there is no gluing it back.
Correct. We did that, and man, do I
You cannot unfuck the turkey.
You cannot unfuck the turkey. Correct.
Pat, quote me on that, please.
Huh?
Oh, he's putting quotes every time we say something.
Karina says, and I quote, you can't unfuck the bear. That is something she has done.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Good job.
Quote heavy session. Yay!
Quote heavy session, 100%. But yeah, I know that fucking what's his name. They want like we have a lot of things that we could have talked about today, but I feel like this is the what we should have talked about today, like the state of the channel, what's happening, how we're feeling about what's happening like right now. Because like, oh, there's one other thing that I really want to talk about, but it's gonna go into our questions. 'Cause I'm gonna start the questions in a bit. But like the ones that
Gotcha.
I really wanted to talk about was the channel and all the stuff that's like affecting YouTube itself as a platform. But the big
Right.
one is now I'm gonna ask you guys this question because it's in our Discord right now about the dude that jumped at the judge. My question is, do you think it was enough charges?
I honestly don't remember his charges,
It was
but
an
goddamn, that's the
absolute
funniest
shit
video I've
show.
ever fucking seen.
Like I
A
saw that.
dude like full sprint, like, and the guard like tries to tackle him and misses. Jumps over the podium and tackles the fucking judge. Is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
It was like one of those things where I'm like, oh my god, this is a sitcom moment.
It was something about like parole, and she's like, no, fuck this guy. He still gets no parole. Fuck him.
Mm-hmm. And she asked him, "Do
And
you have
then
anything else to
he went
say?"
back in the spit guard and orange mittens, and like 2 security guards fucking holding him.
And it's like one of those things when I think about, I'm like, God damn. They're like, oh yeah, they threw the book at him. No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, well, I would say throw that one guy was just kind of took the book and started hitting him
No,
really hard.
No, like so this week they sentenced him for this event. So not the original charges, these new charges.
Oh, I don't even know about the new charges.
Dude, he has several battery charges. He has several several battery charges. He has several
Free the homie. He ain't do nothing wrong.
Pat. He did a lot wrong. We see him do hands at an old lady.
This man went full fucking like feral dog and jumped on someone over a fucking like 6 foot, or not 6 foot, but a pretty goddamn tall like
Podium.
judge table podium thing. Yeah.
Nuts.
And oh my god, the fucking edits where it's like, oh my god,
Oh, it's my fault.
thank you, Judge. Let me hug you for all the help you've done. And then the guy's like, oh, what a kind gesture. I shall come in for a group hug. As he brings up the book and starts hitting him.
Okay.
Oh, I fucking love that edit so much. I fucking love the internet, but it's also a fucking like it's worse than Black Mamba Venom.
Yeah. All right, boys. I think I do have to end it here because the other. But yeah. Well, we're gonna try to shoot for another one next week. Preferably, hopefully I'm on my PC.
Fuck yeah, yeah. We'll try. We'll shoot for, instead of every week, every 2 weeks, just so in case there's a slow week, we can just do stock up on extra episodes.
Yeah, I think that's it.
And then it like a socialized stream.
Yeah. But thank you Pat for watching. Thank you Manny Prime. Thank you Wise for being here. Always appreciate you guys being here. And hopefully 2024 is gonna be up for us, man. Looking up.
Hopefully, fucking no one else retires from the golden age, or I'm gonna cry.
Right. And Pat, looking at you, kid. We out. We'll see you guys.
Peace.